recognized in the correct way. Yeah.
Okay.
And the superior colliculus is a important relay station within that pathway.
Is the reason it's so closely related to the vestibular input more to do with like helping us orient towards sound and things like that?
Yeah, so this is also balance,
Oh,
right?
and balance
so
too.
yeah, there's auditory and there's also your balance within this as well.
Would balance be considered output?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the sensory portion of this. Right?
Oh, sorry. So it's not motor balance or like balancing, telling how to balance. It's actually receiving
Input on
input that
body
tells us if we're balanced.
motion.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
So it's input.
Okay. Are we good here? It's a lot of information, I know, all of a sudden. But we'll go over it multiple times, so hopefully that'll help, right? This is just an overview of where things are on the brainstem. Okay. So we have the entire midbrain here. It labels this. It's called the cerebral crust. This is mostly just fibers going up and down. This is sort of that relay portion of it, right? We have to get information up through this and down through this. A lot of those axons are going through this portion of the midbrain here called the medial, or the cerebral crust. Right? So just inferior to this inferior colliculi, right? Then we have this trochlear nerve, right? One of these this nerve going to muscles of the eye, right, to move it. Okay? It's one of the only nerves that you can actually see that's motor, that's coming out dorsally here, right? So the trochlear nerve is coming out dorsally here, and then it's going to wrap around and it's going to come around anterior this direction. Right? We'll see this again. It should make more sense when we see the actual anterior portion. We have that fourth cranial nerve here, this trochlear nerve. Right? The trochlear nerve also, right, it's sort of a demarcating point. Right? You can use it to say, essentially, the midbrain is done here. There's the trochlear nerve, and then there's the pons. Right? So it's right at that essentially the transition between midbrain and pons. Through here is the trochlear nerve.
Sorry. So the trochlear nerve it's obviously coming up. No, sorry.
Out.
Where is it? It's going out, but where is it starting?
Like
Where
the fibers? Yeah. So its cell bodies are here in the midbrain.
Okay.
And the axons from them are coming out of the midbrain, and this is where they exit the midbrain, and then they're going to wrap around anteriorly as they go towards the eye.
Oh, I see. So I'm sorry. So we're looking from the back right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. So they actually travel posteriorly just for a second on the inside of the cerebral crust, and then they turn around and go.
Yeah, it's sort of inside here. Yeah, then they turn and they go this direction. Yeah, we'll see this.
I meant to say posterior.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right, and we'll see that when we talk about the internal brainstem slides. Right, we'll actually see where those cell bodies are and see the axons coming out. They come out dorsally and they wrap around.
Okay, that makes sense. So I was like, where are the eyeballs? I was thinking they were up here. I'm like, why is it traveling down?
Yeah.
So we're just looking
forward.
behind.
Yeah. Okay, and so then now we have the pons that's here. Right? And like I said, we had the cerebellum on here and it's been removed. This area right in here looks like it's been cut. This is where the cerebellum actually attaches here to the brainstem, right? And covers up this entire area right here, which is the fourth ventricle, right? So we saw before, right? We have the sort of ventricular space, right? It's coming down, and the fourth ventricle kind of makes this diamond sort of shape here. So this is all the fourth ventricle that lays on top of here.
Oh, so we're not actually seeing the fourth ventricle right now. It's missing.
We're seeing the floor of it, if you would like to call it that, right? And then the roof of it is gone.
Okay.
Right. So this space that we're actually seeing here, cerebral spinal fluid would touch this right here.
Okay.
All right. So in that, right, sort of out the lateral side of the pons here, we have the trigeminal nerve coming out this direction, right? So we've gone, we had, right, 2, we have the trochlear nerve, number 4 here, right? And now we're at 5 right here with the trigeminal nerve, okay? All right. So then as we come down here, right, this is the fourth ventricle here. We're gonna have both the facial nerve kind of coming out laterally over here, and the 8th cranial nerve, this vestibulocochlear nerve, coming in this direction here towards this, right? It's sort of the inferior portion of the pons right here, right? And they're gonna come down in here. And then the the vestibulocochlear nerve will come in and actually synapse here on some nuclei that are at the floor of this fourth ventricle right here.
I'm so sorry. I know
No, it's fine.
I'm just trying to keep up here. So you said the trochlear nerve is the one that synapses. Sorry, which one? I might have gotten those backwards. Between the vestibulocochlear.
So the vestibulocochlear nerve, right? That's the one coming in here that's going to synapse in the floor and the fourth ventricle.
Okay, and the trochlear nerve
is up here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I just misheard. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. All right. So as we're coming down here now, right? We can see a couple of other things. We can see cranial nerve 12 sort of sits over here. There's this big lump that sits right here. It's called the olive. It's not really important, but you can see it here, and you know anterior to this then is going to be this 12th cranial nerve, right? And then on the posterior side of that, we're going to have 11 and 10 over here. Or excuse me, 9 and 10. I'm sorry. Glossopharyngeal and vagus, and then 11 will come from down in this area down here. All right, so we're gonna flip this around and then look at a lot of these same nerves then from anteriorly here. All right, so now it's the same thing, right? But now we're looking from the front or from anterior here. We can see this again, right? So an easy way to sort of orient us, right, is this optic tract, right? And we're coming back to this lateral geniculate body over here, right? So these are those visual nerves as they're coming back here from the eye, right? Carrying that visual information. So this is where we are. Pons, right? We have midbrain. Here's those cerebral crusts, right? Those axons coming through here through the midbrain. Pons, and then we have the medulla that's down in this area, right? That we're looking at from anterior. Okay. So easy sort of structures to look at here. Right here we have this optic tract where it comes to the midline right here. We have this little stalk right here. That's actually we're going to have the pituitary sort of attached to that stalk. So the pituitary would sort of sit on the end of this here, right? And it's attached right through here. Okay, so it's a midline structure that's easy to sort of see here. Near this, what we call the optic chiasm through here. We'll talk more about that in the eye lecture. But the eyes, the nerves are coming down from left and right to this area, and it's going to make a giant X, and then some of the fibers are going to go to the left, and some of them are going to go to the right here. So right where the sort of this nerve of the optic nerve is here, that's where that pituitary gland is going to sit.
So that's the infundibulum, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
This infundibulum is the technical name for the stalk that essentially holds the pituitary to the brain here. Yep. So if we go a little bit inferior to that, then there's these two sort of large structures here. Those are the mammillary bodies. We're really not going to cover those at all in this class. That's for memory formation. These circuits that are essentially necessary for memory that we're not going to get into here. A lot of those sort of reside in these mammillary bodies here. So we're going to come down and we're going to see then the ocular motor nerve, right? So we didn't see this one from posterior, right? So if we go back here to this slide, right, they would be around here on the anterior portion, and you can't see them from posterior. So here's where that ocular motor nerve is here, right? One of those three nerves going to the eye muscles here, right? It's also right here at the very top portion of the pons. Okay? And then from over here, then we can now see that trochlear nerve as it's coming around anteriorly here, right? Talked about before. This trochlear nerve is coming out dorsally here, right? It's going to wrap around anterior as it's going towards the eye. And that's the same thing that we're seeing right here, right? This trochlear nerve continuing on its course here. It's actually going to join up with the ocular motor nerve here as it travels closer and goes towards those eye muscles. Does that make sense? Right? Yeah. Okay, so we have the pons, right? We had the trigeminal nerve over here. It's not labeled in here, but you can see this is all that sensory area of the trigeminal nerve, and there's a little bit of a motor portion of the trigeminal nerve here as well. So that's the only thing that's sort of coming out of the pons here, right? And then the cranial nerves then start again as we get to this area here where the pons and the medulla meet each other, right? The inferior portion of the pons. Okay? So then we have the abducent nerve here, cranial nerve 6, right? That's also going